in the heavyweight division for the championship of the world. Unprecedented reign now includes the title of World Grand Prix Champion. Here comes Rico Verhoeven. Here now is his opponent fighting out of the white corner. This legendary glory unbeaten streak dates back 13 years, over 4,000 days. As a professional, 65 wins with 10 losses, 21 big wins by knockout. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.96 meters, and he weighed in at 265 pounds, 120.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Netherlands, he is the reigning and defending heavyweight champion of the world, the king of kickboxing, Rico Verhoeven.
Talented and terrific inside the ring. Rural farmland on the edge of Shepinski. Amidst the DNS, the hills comes the intelligent, mercurial.
And the first bout in the last 8 features the world champion from Ukraine.
The most skilled and sensational of amateurs, cruiserweight undisputed king, now heavyweight champion, undefeated, pound for pound standout. And what support he has given and he's got from his beloved Ukraine. President Zelensky urged Oleksandr to return to the ring, and here he is.
And now making his entrance to the ring from Ukraine, champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
What happens when boxing intelligence collides with kickboxing destruction? Oleksandr Usyk, the undefeated master of movement and strategy, against Rico Verhoeven, the heavyweight kickboxing king known for brutal pressure and unstoppable power. This isn't just a fantasy fight. It's a battle between two elite combat athletes who dominate in completely different ways. One relies on precision, angles, and world-class boxing IQ, while the other brings physical strength, aggression, and years of elite striking experience. If these two giants ever shared the same ring, who would truly control the fight? And who would crumble under pressure when everything is on the line? Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven represent greatness in two different combat sports, but both fighters built their reputations through discipline, intelligence, and complete domination over elite opponents. Usyk shocked the boxing world by conquering the cruiserweight division before moving to heavyweight and defeating some of the biggest names in the sport with speed, movement, and unmatched ring IQ. Rico Verhoeven, on the other hand, became the face of heavyweight kickboxing through relentless pressure, devastating combinations, and years of dominance against dangerous strikers. This dream matchup creates one massive question for combat sports fans everywhere. Would Usyk's technical boxing genius overcome Rico's physical power and aggression? Or would Rico's strength and pressure become too much to handle inside the ring? Today on MMA Knockout, we break down every possible advantage, weakness, and outcome in one of the most fascinating crossover fights imaginable. The arena was absolutely electric. Fans from around the world packed every seat, knowing they were about to witness something historic. On one side stood the undefeated boxing mastermind, Oleksandr Usyk, the man who conquered cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions with unmatched footwork, ring IQ, and relentless pressure. On the other side stood the giant Dutch kickboxing legend, Rico Verhoeven, a world champion known for brutal power, elite conditioning, and devastating striking combinations. This wasn't just another fight. This was boxing versus kickboxing, precision versus pressure, speed versus size. And before the opening bell even rang, the tension inside the arena felt unreal. As the fighters made their entrances, the atmosphere became deafening. Usyk walked calmly toward the ring with complete focus on his face, looking relaxed like he always does before a war. Meanwhile, Rico Verhoeven entered with the confidence of a destroyer, towering over nearly everyone around him. The commentators immediately pointed out the physical differences between the two athletes. Rico looked much larger, naturally stronger, and more dangerous in close exchanges. But everyone knew Usyk possessed one of the greatest boxing minds of this generation. The big question was simple. Could boxing technique overcome the raw aggression and physical dominance of an elite kickboxing champion? When the first bell rang, both fighters started cautiously. Rico immediately took the center of the ring, trying to establish control with his size and pressure. Usyk stayed light on his feet, constantly moving, circling, and reading every movement. The crowd erupted every time either fighter threw a punch. Rico launched a heavy jab early, trying to test Usyk's reactions, but Usyk slipped the shot effortlessly and answered with a quick combination to the body. Right away, fans could see the difference in styles. Rico relied on explosive power and aggression, while Usyk looked like a chess master, calculating every angle and every step. During the first round, Rico attempted to cut off the ring and force Usyk into dangerous exchanges near the ropes. His physical presence alone created pressure. Every punch he threw looked powerful enough to end the fight instantly, but Usyk remained composed. His footwork frustrated Rico repeatedly. He moved laterally, changed directions constantly, and landed sharp counter jabs whenever Rico rushed forward too aggressively. By the end of the round, the audience realized this fight would not be easy for either man. Rico had the power advantage, but Usyk clearly controlled the rhythm. Round 2 became much more intense. Rico increased the pressure and started throwing combinations with bad intentions. He connected with a huge right hand that briefly shook the crowd and forced Usyk to reset. For the first time in the fight, fans could feel Rico's terrifying power, but Usyk responded immediately with a slick 3-punch combination that snapped Rico's head backward. The speed difference suddenly became obvious. Usyk's punches arrived before Rico could fully react. The boxing champion wasn't trying to trade power for power. He was trying to slowly break Rico down with timing, precision, and movement. As the fight moved into the middle rounds, the battle became tactical and brutal at the same time. Rico's strategy centered around controlling distance and making the fight physical. Whenever he trapped Usyk near the ropes, he attacked aggressively with hooks and heavy body shots. Meanwhile, Usyk constantly disrupted Rico's rhythm with feints, angles, and quick counters. The commentators praised Usyk's stamina and composure, especially considering the enormous physical challenge standing in front of him. Rico looked dangerous every second, but Usyk never appeared intimidated. In round 4, Rico had one of his best moments of the fight. He cornered Usyk and landed a crushing combination that forced the Ukrainian champion to clinch for a brief moment. The crowd exploded as Rico sensed an opportunity to finish strong. He unleashed several aggressive attacks, trying to overwhelm Usyk with pressure. But once again, Usyk's experience showed itself. Instead of panicking, he survived the dangerous exchange, reset his position, and began picking Rico apart with sharp straight left hands. It was a reminder that elite boxing skill can neutralize even the most intimidating physical advantages. By round 5, the pace of the fight started affecting both fighters. Rico's aggressive style demanded enormous energy, while Usyk's constant movement required incredible conditioning. Sweat poured from both men as every exchange became more meaningful. Usyk started targeting the body more frequently, stabbing sharp punches into Rico's ribs and stomach whenever openings appeared. Those body shots slowly reduced Rico's explosiveness. Even though the kickboxing champion remained dangerous, his movement looked slightly slower compared to the early rounds. The commentators began discussing the mental aspect of the fight. Rico entered the ring expecting to impose his size and physicality, but Usyk's technical brilliance continued creating problems. Every time Rico tried to establish momentum, Usyk interrupted him with perfectly timed counters. The boxing legend seemed one step ahead mentally. He anticipated attacks before they happened and constantly forced Rico to hesitate. For a fighter used to dominating opponents physically, that hesitation became extremely frustrating. Round 6 delivered one of the most dramatic exchanges of the night. Rico charged forward aggressively and landed a heavy hook that partially connected with Usyk's temple. The audience jumped to its feet instantly, but seconds later, Usyk answered with a stunning combination: jab, straight left, right hook, snapping Rico's head backward repeatedly. For the first time in the fight, Rico looked visibly hurt. Usyk sensed the momentum shift and increased his output dramatically. His combinations became faster, cleaner, and more confident. The crowd erupted as both fighters traded massive punches in the center of the ring. As the championship rounds approached, the fight transformed into a battle of endurance and willpower. Rico still carried dangerous knockout power, but Usyk's pace and precision slowly wore him down. The heavyweight boxer controlled the center more frequently and dictated the tempo with his jab. Rico attempted to regain momentum by attacking aggressively in bursts, but Usyk's defensive awareness prevented clean follow-up shots. Every missed punch drained Rico's energy further. Round 8 became a masterclass from Usyk. He used angles beautifully, making Rico constantly reset his feet before throwing. The Dutch champion swung with power, but Usyk repeatedly slipped shots by inches and countered immediately. Fans watching around the world started appreciating just how difficult it is to catch an elite boxer with Usyk's movement and intelligence. Even against a larger opponent with elite striking experience, Usyk's fundamentals remained world-class. However, Rico refused to quit. In round 9, he unleashed another furious attack and backed Usyk against the ropes again. Several heavy punches landed, forcing the crowd into complete chaos. For a moment, it looked like Rico might finally overwhelm the boxing champion, but Usyk's composure under pressure proved unbelievable. He survived the dangerous exchange, pivoted out of trouble, and returned fire with sharp counters. The heart displayed by both fighters became one of the biggest stories of the night. Entering the final rounds, exhaustion covered both athletes. Their faces showed damage, their breathing became heavier, and every movement carried visible fatigue. But neither fighter backed down. Usyk continued relying on precision and ring IQ, while Rico searched desperately for one fight-ending punch. The arena atmosphere became emotional because fans understood they were witnessing something special. Two elite champions from different combat worlds pushing each other to the limit. In the final round, both fighters met in the center of the ring with complete respect but zero fear. Rico came forward aggressively one last time, throwing massive punches with everything he had left. Usyk responded with clean combinations, brilliant movement, and elite defensive reactions. The final minute turned into an unforgettable exchange of skill, courage, and determination. The crowd stood on its feet screaming as both men traded shots until the final bell echoed throughout the arena. When the fight ended, both fighters embraced in the center of the ring. The audience applauded loudly, appreciating the incredible performance they had just witnessed. The commentators called it one of the most fascinating cross-discipline battles in combat sports history. One fighter represented the technical beauty of boxing, the other represented the brutal pressure and power of elite kickboxing, and together, they created a fight fans would never forget. As the scorecards were read, tension filled the arena once again. Every round had been competitive. Every exchange mattered. Regardless of the official result, both Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven earned massive respect that night. Usyk proved why he is considered one of the smartest boxers of this era, while Rico showed unbelievable toughness and adaptability against an all-time great champion. In the end, this fight was bigger than just winning or losing. It represented two worlds colliding inside one ring. Boxing fans, and at the highest level of combat sports, greatness is defined by adaptability, intelligence, and the ability to perform under extreme pressure. Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven have already proven themselves as champions in their respective worlds, but a matchup between them would test far more than skill alone. It would be a clash of styles, mentality, power, and strategy unlike anything fans have seen before. Some believe Usyk's movement and boxing experience would completely control the fight, while others think Rico's size, pressure, and striking power could change everything with one moment. But now the debate belongs to you. Who wins this dream showdown between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven? Drop your prediction in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to MMA Knockout for more elite fight breakdowns, combat sports analysis, and fantasy matchups.